Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. This is the Fellowship of Spirit in Farmington, New Mexico's Zoom meeting for the 26th of September 2021, and we are glad that you are here. I hope that you enjoy the service and that we all come together in love and compassion for one another. Do we have any announcements, Jerry, that we need to make at this time?
No.
Okay, good. Reverend George Harris has volunteered to give us an opening prayer. Go ahead, George.
Well, as we close our eyes and take a breath, we acknowledge that there is only the one, and I am eternally one with this source, with spirit. It is all that I am. How wonderful it is to know that. I enter the sacred kingdom of heaven each time that I think upon spirit. The clarity of this God mind is my clarity within me now, and the power I use is at the heart of God. This works for all of us. In this moment, we are one with each other, one with source, one with all that is. And I'm in love with life because I'm in love with spirit. This is what God is love, and we get to share that with each other today. And the power that's in us is the heart of God. And the most passion for us each is to share this love through everything that's being spoken today, the speaker, the music, the readings, whatever it is. Know that we are one, and we are so blessed to be here and know this truth. And again, I state, I am in love with life because I'm in love with spirit. And so it is.
So it is.
So it is. Thank you, George.
You're welcome.
Okay, we have an exciting program today. We have Freddie B is going to be giving us music and enhancing our service with music. And Margaret Cheasebro is going to give us our message. Carol Littletree is going to give us our spiritual reading. So we have a full slate of events, and so we need to get right to it. Go ahead and start us off with a song, Fred.
Ron, would you mute everybody, please?
I will. Thank you very much.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Well, I figured I was gonna do some, I guess say traditional songs.
Fred, you have to be unmuted. I muted everybody, including you.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right, here we go.
And I can't hear anybody else, and that's what the purpose was.
I figured I was gonna play something traditional, so we'll do I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. In my soul. I've got love like a fountain. I've got love like a fountain. I've got love like a fountain in my soul. everything I can see. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. In my soul. 'Cause I've got that peace like a river. I've got peace like a river, Lord. I've got peace just like a river down in my soul. I've got peace. It's just like a river. I've got peace as big as that Mississippi River. Oh, I've got peace like a river. Running, 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 running in my soul.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Fred. Thank you so much. And now we have Carol has got a spiritual reading for us. Carol, if you're up.
Okay, this is a short poem and it's by Catherine Mansfield. And it's called Since Autumn is Here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, since autumn is here, I thought I'd do this. Autumn skies painted with a background of gray, blue, touched with streaks of orange, yellow, and white. Oh, to awaken on a crisp autumn morning to such a wonderful heavenly sight. God is a masterful artist, painting warm colors on a canvas of trees. Shades of crimson red, orange, and golden yellow are the colors he paints autumn leaves. How lucky we are to be blessed to start each day with a wonderful created landscape painted with magnificent colors, each one painted with God's creative imagination. God paints our world in a rainbow of colors for all his children to enjoy and see. God's gallery is open daily to show his love for you and me. That's my poem. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you, Carol. It's really good. We're starting to get a little tinge of colors on our cottonwoods over here in Aztec, but it's certainly not in full bloom yet. So we have a lot to look forward to, and it's going to be a beautiful fall. I'm certain of it. So,
It is.
okay. Margaret Cheasebro is our speaker today. And I don't think that I have her. Let me see. I may have her bio.
I emailed it to you a little bit ago.
Well, that doesn't mean I have it in front of me right now. I'm sorry. I know that you did your due diligence. And I should have been looking up this before. Well, why don't you tell us about yourself, Margaret? If you would, and your credentials and all your stuff while I'm looking here, if you would, please.
Oh, well, I've been a journalist, an editor, newspapers, a elementary school counselor. At the church I attended before this one, I was the pastor for 10 years. And I write books, and so that's it.
Tons and tons of experience as well as credentials, and she has a big heart, and she has a very educated and intellectual brain that looks at the world through the eyes of a metaphysician. Thank you. So let us go to it, Margaret. It's all yours.
Okay. Well, I had a booth at the whole expo holistic and ecological fair earlier this month in Durango, and I was selling my books there. I like to go to Whole Expo because most people who attend quickly grasp what my books are about. As I talked about one of my books with a man who stopped at my booth, I told him about visiting my son in Alaska, where there are lots of trees. And when I came home, a friend who has a deep connection with trees told me something I needed to do. He said I should stand close to the trees near where I lived because an Alaska tree had given me a message for them. They needed me to stand close to them so they could access the message. Well, I had no idea I was carrying such a message. The next day, I stood by a huge cottonwood that grows beside an irrigation ditch where I used to live. I have come to know that remarkable tree quite well, and I knew that it would share whatever the message was with the other trees. So I waited quietly for the message I was carrying to reach the cottonwood, and I didn't know how the transfer would happen. When it seemed like the message was delivered, I asked the tree if it would tell me what the message was. And into my mind came the words, "Stand tall. I recognize your worth." The trees needed to hear that message because they sometimes forget. They do forget, the man at Whole Expo said. And he launched into a story about how he had been near some trees. He felt so good being surrounded by them that he asked, "What can I do for you?" And the trees told him, "Nothing. Why should we need something from you?" "Well, I could tell you how to make rain," the man replied. The trees seemed surprised, as though they didn't know how to do this. "Well, you pull water up through your roots, and then you let the water go through the tips of your branches," the man told them. For the next 2 months, it rained every day. The trees had forgotten how to make rain. He reminded them, and then they immediately began practicing their remembered skill. That made me wonder about the things that we have forgotten. We know more than we think we do. Somewhere along the way, we've lost track of some of those things. One of the easiest things for me to forget is who I really am. You would think that the older we get, the easier it would be, but that doesn't seem to be the case. So one of my favorite quotes from A Course in Miracles reminds me that I am a holy child of God, forever innocent, forever loving, and forever loved, as limitless as my Creator, completely changeless and forever pure. Am I really as limitless as my Creator? On some days, that concept seems harder to grasp than others. Am I really forever loved? There are times when I forget that too. Those are the days when I wonder if I'm good enough. Do we ever get past those false ideas about ourselves? Of course, we are all good enough. We just have to remember and apply to ourselves what A Course in Miracles says about us being as limitless as God who created us, and about how we're forever loved, completely changeless, and forever pure. At many different times in our lives, we've picked up ideas that don't mesh with who we really are. In 2011, Colin Tipping wrote a book called Radical Self-Forgiveness that helps us find our way back to true self-acceptance. He includes in it a radical self-acceptance worksheet. It helps us understand the ways that we see ourselves and how that kind of distorts how we see everyone and everything else. He asks us first to recognize that we tend to split ourselves into two parts. One contains images or attributes about ourselves that we recognize as acceptable. The other part of ourselves, the shadow side, contains attributes that we don't consider acceptable. We've picked up those shadow side ideas somewhere along the way, and they don't make us feel good about ourselves. Sometimes, Colin Tipping explained, things we object to in someone else might be part of our shadow self, crying out to be loved and accepted. The worksheet takes time and thought to complete, but it can really help us see how worthy and lovable we really are. Earlier, he wrote another book called Radical Forgiveness. It explains ways in which we can learn to forgive others. It includes a worksheet for how to do that. The worksheet helps us see how we made misjudgments and misinterpretations along the way that could have caused us to be angry or upset with someone else. You can download all 3 worksheets at soundstrue.com/pages/radical forgiveness. I've written it in chat, but I wanted to, I don't know if you can see this. That's too hard to read. But if you go to chat, I wrote the whole website down, so you can get it there if you'd like. Nope. Okay, let me say it again. soundstrue.com/pages/radical forgiveness. Does anybody need me to repeat that again?
Margaret, I got it in my chat.
Okay.
I don't know if everyone else did, but I got it in my chat.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. You can download all 3 worksheets at that website. And the 3 worksheets are the Radical Forgiveness worksheet, the Radical Self-Forgiveness worksheet, and the Radical Self-Acceptance worksheet. They are not for the faint of heart, because they make you think about the situation you're dealing with in a variety of different ways. But it is really worth the effort if you're dealing with something that's really bothering you. If you tackle one or more of the worksheets, you will recognize that you have forgotten something about yourself. Whatever that was, it made you see yourself or someone else in a way that was clouded by misconceptions. Those misconceptions can literally make us sick. In the book that Fellowship of Spirit has been studying on Sunday mornings, The Nature of Personal Reality, it says that the cells in our body are highly influenced by our behavior and beliefs. If you affirm the rightness of your physical being, then you help the cells and organs in your body, and without knowing it, you treat them kindly. So it may sound corny, but if we thank our organs and other parts of our body and tell them that we love them, we are treating them kindly. Then it's easier for them to carry out their work in a way that makes us healthier. If that's true, then it's important for us to remember to do our best to remember anything we might have forgotten about how whole, healthy, loving, and limitless we really are, because we do forget those things. Something happens in our lives and it just knocks us flat and we forget what we really know about ourselves. I often think about that man at Whole Expo who told me about reminding the trees how to make rain. What a service he provided to those trees. Sometimes we meet people who help us remember things we've forgotten. Those things help us live our lives in a happier, healthier way, just like the man who helped the trees. Mike Dooley sends out wise statements 5 days a week on Notes from the Universe. You can get them by Googling Notes from the Universe and asking him to send them to you. One of the things he said fits what I've been talking about today. The presumption at all times and under all circumstances should always be that you are good enough, worthy enough, and lovable enough, and that you are exactly the right kind of person in the right place at the right time. If that's one of the things you've forgotten, I'd like you to remember today that you are good enough, worthy enough, and lovable enough, and that you are the right person for this moment and this place.
Is that it, Margaret?
That's it.
All right. Thank you very, very much. It was a great talk. Steve, did you have something you wanted to say?
Yeah, thanks, Margaret. Boy, I really needed that, especially where I've been lately, knocked down by a few circumstances. And I think all of us that are in the process of making decisions that affect others tend to judge ourselves a little harshly and question ourselves. And sometimes the questions are negative. And I thank you for steering me back towards looking for the positive answers. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Steve.
Does anyone else want to address Margaret?
Yeah, I wanted to thank her for those words of wisdom, because like Steve, there are times when we're dealing with personal things and it's such a good reminder of where to look for insight into this. And thanks for the website. I'm going to look it up. But that part about the trees, remembering to draw the water up and make rain, we need to do that here. We need the rain so bad.
Yeah.
Thank you, Margaret.
Oh, you are welcome, Jerry.
Thank you, Margaret. You're always great. Thank you.
Thanks, Carol.
So Margaret, I don't know if you were aware, but during the whole expo that we were at, Durango is widening the road that goes down through the river, and in its way is a big old cottonwood tree, and it created a lot of buzz because the city wanted to cut it down, and a lot of people rose up in arms and said, "No, this is an old tree." I mean, for us to pay attention to nature around us. There was a woman who said, "I'm standing by this tree until it dies or moves forward or something. I'm not leaving it." And she stayed there. And a lot of other people came and fought for this tree, but in the end, the city cut it down. And it was kind of painful for a lot of people, including myself, because I got caught up in it and the feeling of the tree. So that was kind of sad.
Yeah, I saw that in the paper. That was so glad people were standing up and recognizing its value.
You know, that's interesting. There's a tree in front of, well, it's not quite in front of, but it's on the street that the library is on here in Farmington. And there was quite a controversy over that tree, and they held forth, and that tree is still there.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
To make everybody aware, but in the chat, if you click on that, it actually takes you right to the website.
It's a link.
It's a link, yes.
Okay. Margaret, thank you for your inspiring words. We needed them and we appreciate them, and we appreciate you. Okay,
Oh.
thank you very much. Fred, have you got another song for us?
I do. I've decided to change it because, you know, I can. Tree of Life. There are things that we know that don't know we know. Come to the tree of life. There are things that we know we know. Come to the tree of life. Come to the tree of life. Come to the tree of life. There are things that we know we don't know. Come to the tree of life. There are things that we say that we know we say. Come to the tree of life. There are things that we say that we don't know we say. Come to the tree of life. Come to the tree of life. Come to the tree of we say that we don't always say. Come to the tree of life. There are things that we feel, don't know we feel. Come to the tree of life. There are things that we feel, don't know why we feel. Oh, come to that tree of life. Come to the tree of life. Come to the tree of life. There are things that we feel, and we don't know we feel. Come to the tree of life. Things that we do that we don't know we do. Come to that tree of life. When there's things that we do and we don't know why we do, go to that tree of life. Come to the tree of life. Come to that tree of life. There are things that we do that we don't know why we do. Go to that tree of life. Tree of life. Come to that tree of life. There are things that we do and we don't know we do. Oh, go to that tree of life. Tree of life.
Thank you, Fred. All right. Thank you so much. Our Sunday morning book study that begins at 8:45 on Sundays is almost finished with The Nature of Reality by Jane Roberts. We have about 2 weeks left, and we are looking for our next book to study. So if you have, doesn't matter whether you've participated in the past or not, but if you would like to participate in a book study and you have a suggestion of a book that you think would be of interest to everyone, or some of us anyway, please get in touch with Jerry or me or anyone within the book study and let them know. We have a couple of weeks to be able to decide on a book and to order it so that we can get in, begin studying it probably the third week. So if you have any suggestions, please get in touch with us. Jerry, did you have something to add to that?
Yes, and a lot of times Steve can upload it for your phone and so that you have the digital version of it or your computer. So there's that option too, instead of ordering the hard copy. So
Yeah.
Not always, but sometimes.
Well, you can always order the electronic version from Amazon on most of the books that are available in traditional form can also be uploaded electronically. Sure. And
Yep.
that happens instantly. So, okay. Also, we are doing Course in Miracles again. Evidently, Susan got her computer fixed and that we are doing Course in Miracles on Wednesday night at 6 o'clock. So if you're interested at all in Course in Miracles, whether you've studied it before or not, does not matter. They actually don't go through the book from front to back anymore. They pick a topic, and then Susan has some supporting passages that they read, and they discuss it. So you don't, so it doesn't matter whether you've done it before or not. You can participate and gain a lot of richness out of the Course in Miracles. There's just much wisdom. Margaret often quotes or speaks of passages from the Course in Miracles. And then of course we all know that our brother Mike Rose is he's just knows a lot about Course in Miracles. So that our Power of 8 is operating really well. We meet on Thursday night at 6:30, and we have a lot of people that we are praying for. And would you like to expand on that, Margaret?
We do have a lot of people we're praying for, and sometimes we're seeing that some really cool things happen, and answers to prayer happen, sometimes not in always the way we thought, but it's pretty wonderful. So it's nice to be connected and to know that we are making a difference in other people's lives and helping ourselves as well.
Thank you, Margaret.
Ron, did you want to ask Susan if she had anything to say about Course in Miracles?
I didn't even see that she was here. Is she here?
She is here.
Oh yeah, Susan, you have something you'd like to say about Course in Miracles?
Well, thanks a lot, Ron, for not noticing.
Well, you were off my screen. I had to scroll over to get you in. So.
Well, I haven't been here for the past month because of computer issues and things like that. And because my business has doubled, so sometimes I'm really busy with that. We have just, it's wonderful that we can use the Course as a springboard for what's going on in our own lives and to make it more personal, to give us some real things on how we can work with what's going on in our lives. And I find that even though I've been doing this for what, almost 37 years now, I'm finding a whole lot of new insights, especially when we have the discussions. And it's really interesting to watch how some of us are changing, and especially Jerry. Of course, I love Jerry. Come on, I love you. You are so great. You are just
I grow.
how metaphysically, you have grown in every way. So, I mean, what is it? 20, at least 20 years, 30
Oh,
years?
yeah.
It's been a long time.
It has. And I grow every week. I do.
You are incredible, and you're such a beautiful example of what Course can do for people, because not only has the way you see things, because that's what Course is all about, is how to perceive things differently. But I don't know, you just seem to be more beautiful every time. So
Thank you, my dear.
Yeah.
My dear friend.
Thank you, Susan. We're looking forward to seeing you next Wednesday. I have some news. Some of you may remember from our last near-death experience seminar that we had a couple of years ago. There was a man there by the name of John Turnus who spoke. There were three of us, and John transformed, passed away this past Wednesday. He went to the doctor. He had a sore, and the doctor told him that he had a cancer that was aggressive and it was fast acting, and he was gone in 2 weeks. So his transition was fairly quick, and it was not, it was, it may have been painful, but it didn't last for a long time. And so that's, to me, that's a blessing that it doesn't take forever to make that transition. Anyway, John, we appreciated him when he came, and I still appreciate it. I've known John for 20 something years, and he was a good man, and he will be missed. Also, one of the things when I was gone, I was traveling, and I wasn't here. I was had gone down to bury my my uncle, the last one of his generation on my mother's side, and there's only one on my father's side that's still alive. But he had a long, good life, and it was good. And I made it. We went down one day and came back the next. That's all the way to Lubbock, so it's a lot of miles. But anyway, it was worth it, and I appreciated seeing all the people that were there. That's one of the reasons that I was not here last Sunday. But anyway, I heard that that Fred did a great job, and but the only problem was we weren't able to record it. But we figured that problem out. We won't be having that anymore. So stick around after we close, Fred, and I want to tell you something, because you're there at the church right now. I want to show you. I don't know if you knew where we keep the laptop or not, but you're in the room where it is. So, okay. So does anyone have anything else that they would like to add as far as for announcements?
I do.
Okay, go ahead, Fred.
I forgot to let you guys know, but if you have iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, I don't know, anything, if you stream music, one of the bands that I'm with, we published some of the honky tonk and rockabilly music that I've been working on for a couple of years that we recorded up in Durango. You can hear me playing drums and doing some backup singing. All you got to do is, it's free to stream. All you got to do is type in Brandon, Brandon, space Crandall, Crandal, and the Rexall Rangers. I think Rexall is pretty easy to remember, but Brandon Crandall and the Rexall Rangers, you'll see a black and white logo with some guns, a cowboy hat and a mask. Anyway, there's I think 10 songs up there. So enjoy. It's rockabilly, country, a little bit of rock and roll.
What was the name of the band again?
Brandon Crandall and the Rexall Rangers.
Oh, Rangers.
Or you could even type in Rexall Rangers. It's the only, I chose that name, so it sticks out.
They're not drugstore cowboys, are they?
Right, exactly. It's the play on drugstore cowboys or Rexall Rangers. So enjoy that music if you like it. It's stream it, share it. There's a really good song I'll try to perform here on piano. That's called Water Your Crops. It's kind of a metaphysical song.
Oh.
So I'll be performing that here on piano, maybe next week or week after next.
Right.
Water your crops.
All right.
You might.
You.
That's
Thank
it.
you, Fred.
Fred, you might text me what date you're going to be available in October for music. Okay.
I will.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Any announcements? Any organizations or anything going on around the community that you would like to promote? Okay. Margaret, would you like to give us a benediction, please?
Dear God, ever expanding, ever extending unconditional love, thank you for your presence with all of us, no matter where we are. You are with us as we are all one, all connected. Thank you for helping us to be open to remembering what we might have forgotten, because we truly all are good enough and worthy enough and lovable enough. In the spirit of Christ consciousness, amen.
Thank you, Margaret. Well, may God bless you and keep you until we meet again. Thank you very much for coming today, and have a great week.
Thank you, Ron.